Hey there guys and gals, it's Restocker here coming at you with another Wizard of Legend video, and this time around we'll be doing a hard mode run for the Chaos Trials. So of course, let's go over some of the stuff that we have equipped very quickly. We'll be using the Hope Cape, which gives us max health, run speed, damage, and critical chance. You unlock this after you beat the normal mode of the game. Of course, the relic that we'll be using is Insignia of Legend. We'll be using Bolt Rail for the basic Arcana, Chaotic Rift as the dash, Null Parade, and Cardus Prime as our following up Arcanas. So we'll head on over here to the top left and talk to Jade and turn over some Chaos Gems, so 20 Chaos Gems for 200 gold. And this just makes things a little bit easier for us because we're able to purchase things from the merchant. So I actually haven't played Wizard of Legend in about a week or so, so I'll probably be a little bit rusty. Hopefully I'll be able to go through this. I actually tried do a recording right before this one, and things messed up a little bit on my recording, so I had to restart the video. So yeah, we'll be focusing a little bit more on dodging and attacking because we don't have the lifesteal that we did in the previous video that I uploaded. So you guys should check out how to beat the normal mode with very easy setup. That video will help you guys unlock the hard difficulty and some of the extra content in the game. So here what I like to do is focus on one side, and then we'll deal with the other side afterwards when they head on over here. And dodging relatively poorly here. We should be able to charge up Null Parade in here, but it looks like we're not actually going to have to use it. Since there probably aren't going to be any more monsters, I'm going to go ahead and pop it. Null Parade is probably one of the more powerful Chaos Arcanas that you can get from beating the final boss. And that's one of the things that gets really painful if you get hit. If you get chain stunned like that, you're going to be taking a lot of damage, so you want to make sure that you don't have that happen to you. So we're going to be using our signature and just clearing out that room. Head on back here and see if we missed anything. So yeah, as you can see, I took quite a bit of damage there, so that was a bit unfortunate. So we're going to be getting a little bit more healing here, so we should be okay. The thing with the hard mode is that you'll probably be spending quite a decent amount of gold on restoratives just from the merchant, picking up like health potions and stuff like that. And you shouldn't feel too bad if you are, because the mode is relatively difficult. Monsters attack very quickly, they have a lot of HP, and things get a bit difficult to deal with at times, so don't feel too bad if you are taking damage. And we could get this. I think I'm actually going to pick it up. And what rebounding icicles does is it actually shoots out a bunch of ice, and it'll actually bring the enemies back to you. So it's kind of like a boomerang effect, which is pretty cool. And at the same time, it actually is pretty useful because I wouldn't worry so much about it on normal mode, but in hard mode, you actually do want to have your signature building up as fast as possible. And I would recommend that the easiest way to do that is to actually have more Arcanas. So the more spells you're able to throw out, the faster you'll be able to charge your super move. So you definitely want to be building up your super as fast as possible. So that was a bit unfortunate there. I thought I would actually sneak past without getting frozen, but apparently that was not the case. So we'll be just chucking out our signature move there. So we have the merchant here, and he's got a few things for sale. So we can pick up the heavy travel jacket, and the healing potion, we'll get back to it. So the heavy travel jacket is going to give us a little bit of extra armor based on the amount of relics we're carrying. Whoops. So a bit, have to be a bit more careful here. I can't be taking damage because I don't have my lifesteal setup that I typically run. So yeah, we'll have to be playing through this a little bit carefully. And I am super rusty. I haven't played this game for about a week. So yeah, I'm going to have to pay a little bit more attention than I otherwise would. So again, sticking to a similar style from the first video that I made for you guys is that we want to be running into our opponents, but at the same time, we want to focus a little bit more on dodging this time around. And still, I want to take care of the ranged characters first. So I want to try to actually use my super in a different room if possible. Looks like I'm not going to be finding any enemies there. Looks like the boss room's right up here. So we'll actually heal up since the chance of us getting fully healed is very low. We'll probably need the potion anyway to get fully healed. So we'll chuck this out here. And yeah, we want to make sure that we're not taking too much damage from the boss. Alright, so it looks like we've cleared out all the minor enemies. Should be good to go here. Do some damage, charge up our Null Parade. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the boss. So relatively easy. You can see that the bosses are a lot more durable. And we got Singing Bowl. So not using an Arcana for a short period of time will actually make the next spell be a critical hit. So that's pretty nice. And we have Shock Nova here. Just any extra Arcanas that we can have very early on in the game to help build our signature meter is going to help out a lot. Also having a Thunder one when we're about to fight the Ice Queen is going to be pretty useful for us because we need as much damage as we can against her. And yeah, let's just keep exploring. You still want to pretty much fully explore all the stages, I would say, because you want to get as much gold as you can for these runs. It's going to be extremely useful. Ooh, I almost messed up there. And the thing with unlocking the Chaos Arcanas is that you can actually unlock them in the normal difficulty. It'll still keep giving you Chaos Arcanas even in the normal difficulty, and then you can opt to go beat the hard mode once you accumulate a bunch of them. I actually ended up beating hard mode for the first time with a different Chaos Arcana that I was using. It's kind of like a hook shot where you shoot out kind of like a single linear projectile and then it pulls in enemies. And that one was actually pretty useful with my playstyle that I had set up. So maybe I'll do a video one time utilizing that Arcana setup. You can see here, for the most part, things are still pretty easy. We have Albert's formula, receive signature charge when healed. So that's going to be, it's going to be potentially useful for us at some points in the game. But I don't think it'll come into effect too much. And you can see just how quickly we actually get our signature charge here. Taking a little bit of unnecessary damage there. Ooh, I almost got nicked by that. So we'll be moving on down here. Once again, trying to explore every part of the map as best that I can. There'll probably be certain points in the later stages where I won't be fully exploring just because of how much damage I take. And it becomes a little bit more risky and probably not worth the reward of fully exploring here. It's a bit unfortunate here that I am getting hit quite a bit. I'll have to try to mitigate that as much as I can because bosses are significantly harder in the difficulty. You can see just how tanky even the basic monsters are. So let's look at this chest down there. I don't think I can actually unlock that chest because I saw it had a fire elemental that was required, and I don't have any fire, unfortunately. So not much we can really do about that. So we won't have to head all the way down there, although there might be some stuff down there regardless, so we'll still probably check it out. So here I'll be activating this, utilizing the effect of my retreating ice attack just so I can pull the enemies down. So here we have Enhanced Cardus Prime, definitely want that. The Ward of Flames is relatively okay. It's much better than I initially gave it credit for, but I think we're going to skip out on it for now. And just head on down here. And with the fire one, we can potentially also get to a point where we can open up that treasure chest. But I think we're okay. There is one more potential merchant to explore. So I think what we'll do is we'll fight the boss and then we'll see how well we're doing on HP. So we're fighting this guy. He's not too challenging, so we shouldn't be getting hit too much from this boss. Alright, so that was a pretty good boss fight. And I think I would actually like to explore a little bit more, so let's go ahead and keep exploring here. We still have about 23% or so there. Yeah, so 23% more to explore. It's going to be head on over here to the left side. Hopefully the merchant has something good. I typically like the cursed items, especially the armor-based ones. So hopefully they have one of those for us to use. And if not, I think we'll just have to make do with what is there. I don't like the things that make me go slower. You typically want a lot of move speed. And the thing with the final boss, Master Sura, is he's actually not much harder in the hard mode. It's the other three bosses that you really have to worry about. So we have this dude. And if we want to sell anything, we can sell. I feel like Albert's formula is not particularly good. It's probably the only one I want to get rid of. But even that, I think I'm going to hold on to it because there are probably some very obscure cases where it will be useful. So we need fire. We don't have any fire, so there's really no point in going on over there. So what I'm going to do is actually just head to the merchant and get my heal. And again, it's very important that you just stay fully healed. Even when I go to the next floor, I know there is going to be the red gem that I break for a little bit of extra life. But on hard mode, you want to basically stay capped as much as you can. So that would have probably healed me about 75 HP, but I need the potion, which essentially put me at full health. Otherwise, I would be like 100 HP short. So yeah, just again, focus on dodging attacks. Oh. And that's the problem with the with Ice Queen Freya, is if you get hit by one attack, you're gonna get hit by a bunch of them. So yeah, I'm dodging horribly here, like utterly horribly. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a better job here. Pay attention a bit more. Just run around in circles. Get some attacks off, and then back up. Oh, she caught me with that. So for this move, what I like to do is just dash around the outside, and it should be completely fine. And again, don't get too greedy with the damage that you're trying to do to the bosses. They can end up being quite painful if you end up taking an attack. So we're gonna just bum rush her there. We got her pretty low. So that was a very sloppy fight. It started out very sloppy. I think we did much better towards the end there. But yeah, let's just keep going with it. It wasn't exactly particularly clean, but again, you can see that since I had full HP, I wasn't punished as hard as I otherwise typically would be. You also notice that the bosses do a lot more attacks in the initial phase. Instead of doing 3 attacks, she did 5. And I forget if all bosses just do 5 or if they extend even more for the bosses that follow up. So we're just going to be cutting very far back because we don't want to deal with any of that nonsense right there. In hard mode, you have to play significantly more safely than you otherwise would. And that's just kind of a product of how hard mode is. So nothing to see there. Again, continuing to explore kind of one whole section of the map first, and we'll head on over to the right here. So again, I like to kind of keep all the enemies in one section if I can. I try to do my best to do that, but sometimes it becomes very difficult to do so. So it looks like we have the boss room here. I don't want to go here quite yet. There isn't too much to gain from fighting the boss right away. So let's continue exploring. Hopefully we can find a merchant here that sells us something particularly useful. So we can knock those guys down there. So I want to take care of the vanishing rogue guy first, if I can. So it looks like he finally went down. This should be pretty easy from this point on. Let's go to the right first here. So it looks like we have a little room here. Just break the trees so we don't have to deal with that. This room is going to be kind of annoying here. Hopefully my signature move clears out most of those monsters. Yeah, I took a lot of damage there. It took about 100, I think. So that's unfortunate. But we do have a merchant here. We might as well pick up the heal, because we're not going to get healed to full. And we'll head back. I didn't really have a good look at what was in there, but I just want to make sure I can get to another room and just use my signature. Oof, I'm taking damage from some pretty basic guys here, so that kind of sucks. I'm going to get rid of these because I don't want to deal with that. We have another merchant, so not too keen on any of those skills, so let's keep moving. And there goes that. And then we have this guy. So we found all three of the merchants. That guy basically just does a bunch of damage to you and then increases the strength of your cape. But we don't really have to worry about that too much right now. So we should be fine. User super. Let's get a bit more gold from the slimes here. So we're at 91%. Let's explore the map a little bit more. Let's see what we can get. And then we're going to head back and see what arcanas we missed out on. So I'm actually going to dash on over here. Seems a little bit safer on this side than all the way up there. Again, constantly dashing, using my super whenever it's up. And we're good to go. So look like there was actually some sneaky guys here. Holy crap. I'm surprised he actually missed me. I didn't even see him. I was kind of on autopilot there. So yeah. You can see here you have a buff, and that buff lets us know that when our critical arcana is going to be up, since we haven't used an arcana in a decent amount of time. So before we go and fight the boss, let's check out the extra stuff here. You can get greased boots or freezing sprite. I think I'll get the freezing sprite. It actually helps a decent amount at certain times. So again, we'll be dealing with the extra ads first. Oh, a little bit of lag there. Ugh, that was unfortunate. Time to have my game lag. It's still lagging a little bit. So when he vanishes, he'll vanish twice in a row. Just keep that in mind. And again, always watch out for whenever the boss kind of gets out of their stun lock phase. He's going to dash twice in a row. Just watch out for that. And whenever the boss has that yellow outline, glowy kind of outline, you know they're going to go into their damage phase, so just be careful of that. And again, don't have to rush it. Better play it safe than take unnecessary damage. So not the cleanest fight, but we got through it. We didn't heal too much from that. So we started the floor with about 350 HP, I think, something like that. And now we're at like 250, right? So we've lost about 50 HP. And you can see I don't go overkill on purchasing relics because you have to make sure you get healing potions if you take a lot of the damage. So again, I kind of want to get rid of those eyeball guys. I think I've done enough damage to this dude. All right, I can head on back. So we can get the halo, which makes us respawn, but our life goes down. I don't think I want any of those. I prefer like the armor, again, armor of envy and armor of greed. And I don't really like any of the other cursed items, really. Let's get rid of the eyeball in the middle. Pretty easy to get rid of. And you can see the sprite's actually helping us a decent amount by freezing opponents. That would otherwise be pretty annoying and a bit of a nuisance for us to deal with. So as long as we have our sprite helping us out, we should be good. I want to get into a fight here because I almost have my signature charged up. Get the monsters all on one side. And have my signature attack go to town. Alright, so that was pretty clean. Here we can get an enhanced version of our lightning. I think I'm going to go ahead and take it, although it's not the ideal arcana in my case. I prefer like a secondary mobility spell. So something like Flame Lariat is nice. But you know, we'll take it. We got to make do with what we have here. Oh, that's very unfortunate that that guy got his attack animation through. Alright, so we got a super here that we can use if we find any dudes. Nope. I'm gonna head on and actually find the potion merchant, or the guy that'll end up selling me the relics, and he's the one that actually sells potions as well. So we got a bunch of dudes here, pull them all in. It's a relatively easy room there. Got a couple more guys just out in the wild here, pull them all in. And the thing is, we have a pretty nice combo here to deal with basic monsters, but not so much bosses, so that's something that we're going to have to actually be pretty wary about and relatively careful. Still no potion merchant. I'm not sure if I fully explored the far left side here. I think I have, so I'm going to actually check the top. Before that, I'm going to tab up very quickly here. All right. All right, I don't want to deal with this guy here. Come on, potion merchant, where you at, buddy? All right, here he is. So we have vampire glasses, and that is probably my favorite item in the game. So instead of getting the potion, I'm actually gonna go ahead and pick up the vampire glasses. And that will actually help us heal a lot of damage. So go ahead and get our signature charged up. And let's go ahead and purchase up the vampire glasses. Nope, looks like we got a bit more dudes to fight. Did not expect that, so I got caught off guard there a little bit. Gotta heal for our troubles though. So let's go ahead and pick up the vampire glasses, and then we'll come back, and once we beat the boss, we'll pick up the potion. There might be one more room with monsters here. I think there's a chance for it. Yeah, we got a couple dudes here. I'm gonna go ahead and just try to play it as safe as possible. Okay, apparently that was not safe enough. Okay, I'm getting completely clobbered here. Yikes. This is, that room alone probably did more damage to me than the entire floor. So that was not clean in the slightest, so we'll have to make this boss fight very clean. And we got the mage guy. I'm not particularly good at fighting the mage guy. I'll be the first to admit that. I really need this guy to just leave me alone. Alright, he's gone. Alright, so he's in his little phase here. And we've got our signature charged up again. Head on back. Alright, so a very clean boss fight. And we should have enough gold to go and purchase up the healing potion. So we'll go do that. And then we're going on to the next floor. So we'll heal a bunch again. So this isn't not a particularly clean run, but we're getting through the stages. So we should be okay. So almost full HP here. What I like to do is actually clear out the stage a little bit here. I know I had my super bar build up quite quickly there because I picked up a bunch of healing items, but I actually value clearing out the stage a little bit more than all that stuff. Oh, he actually caught me with that, so that's a bit unfortunate. So I gotta be careful here. And again, don't get too greedy with the damage. Alright, for this move, you want to run all the way up and just all around. Make sure you don't get too greedy in the damage that you're trying to do as well. And he's just about dead. So that's a very clean Atlas fight. So yeah, not too much to say about that other than focus very heavily on dodging and understanding attack patterns. I think the only move that's really hard to dodge is the one where he jumps in the middle, and when you see him slam the ground and all the earth particles kind of come out of the ground and start chasing you, what you want to do is make sure you run either to the very bottom or the very top, and then run immediately in the other direction. And having the chaos form of the dash is very helpful as well. So here we are, the last level before fighting Master Sura, or the last floor, I should say. And fire is either very easy or very hard, depending on how well and how careful you go through the stage. So again, I am not playing particularly careful, but I do have the eyeglasses now, so that definitely makes things a lot easier for us, the vampire eyeglasses, because we can start playing a little bit more lackadaisical, because we will be healing so much HP. But again, you don't want to get too lackadaisical. It's like it gives us some breathing room, but not enough to mess around completely. Ugh, that was very unfortunate. What happened there was I was trying to get my electric move off, but the animation took too long, and then the monster hit me and actually stunned me out of the animation. That kind of sucked. The really cool thing about slimes for us, though, is they give us a bunch of lifesteal, thanks to Vampire's eyeglasses. So definitely shout out to the slimes here for giving us a bunch of free HP. I'm actually going to go head down here and explore all of this area first, because I know I've missed some of it. Alright, so it looks like there's nothing over there. Nothing over here. Pull this guy down here. I'm going to be using this statue as cover, just to make things a little bit easier for myself. Pull this guy down. That's a cool thing with the abilities that help you pull enemies into like a pit or a cave, is you don't have to deal with some of their more annoying stuff. So I don't want to pick any of that stuff up. I'm not interested in any upgrades other than an upgrade for Bolt Rail. That's probably the major upgrade, because I have an upgrade to Cardus Prime in my lightning move. So let's see what Taffy's going to give us. I'll be starting it off with this, pushing him into the wall. Actually, I don't think I have enough damage from that. I kind of messed that up. So yeah, Taffy's gonna head on over here. So should have enough damage. Oh, okay. So we'll try one. We'll keep trying to go for it. He might give us something good here. Oh, we were very close that time. I kind of messed up a little bit. So we're gonna need our sprite to actually not. So we'll wait until our sprite actually hits him. And we should be good. What do we get? So we got Mag Sphere. Which one is this? That's the one that pulls like all the projectiles. I'm not too interested in that actually. So we'll stick with what we have right now. We can explore the left side at least. Now we've run into 2 of the merchants. Nothing great. Let's see what the item merchant has. Might have some cool relics for us. So rather than approach this guy from the left side there, I'm gonna go in here and just pull them down. So a little bit more tactical that way. And then we can kind of deal with these guys here normally. We have the statue to help us out. Push him off. And again, using our terrain to our advantage is very important. So over here we have a bunch of difficult guys. I'm gonna just lure them out, throw out my super. They should be dead to that. If not, they'll be very weakened, so we can deal with them in a much more efficient manner by luring them out like that. So again, just be very careful and be very intelligent about how you approach your opponents. And you can see just how much lifesteal the vampire's eyeglasses actually give. We basically heal to full at this point, and should be helping us out a pretty decent amount. So again, I'm just looking for the merchant here at this point. Pull this guy down as well. And it looks like we found the merchant here. So we can get Mirror Shield, which actually prevents one projectile attack from hitting us. I think we will actually pick that up. And we'll get the Puffy Parka, which evades all critical attacks, so it reduces some of that potential burst damage that we might take. So we'll diagonally dash over here, nothing over there, head back to the merchant and use the portal to head to the boss fight on the floor. So we haven't fought the rogue yet. Nope, still no rogue. So again, you just want to be very careful when the boss is shining yellow like that. Then you know they're about to use one of their attacks. So just be careful. You know, take it relatively slow. There's no need to rush it really. And yeah, not the cleanest fight, but we got it done, and we'll be sitting at full HP when we're done with everything. So moving on to the next floor in very good condition here. So the Flame Empress or Empress Zeal or something like that's her name. She's a relatively difficult boss. If you get hit by one of her attacks, you're going to get hit by a bunch of them. So that can be a bit of a problem. We should be okay if we dodge like the majority of her attacks. If we dodge like 75% of her attacks, we should be okay. And that's what we're going to have to focus on. Just play it relatively safe, don't get too crazy, and we should be okay. So we got pretty lucky that we charged our super from that room, because it's going to make this room significantly easier for us to deal with. So thankfully we had a small room which led us into a bigger room once we had our super charged up. So this room's going to have a bunch of guys. We can pull these dudes down here. I'm going to actually use my shock move here and my super on top of me, just so I get a little bit of breathing room here. Ugh, I'm in a pretty bad spot here right now. I'm actually just going to straight up suicide off. Dash on through that. So yeah, I was in a bit of a pickle here. So here we have this relic reduces cooldowns, but also reduces signature charge rate. And I'd rather have the cooldowns be reduced rather than have my signature charge rate be reduced. Like, I'm not too worried about my super charge rate. I want to make sure I'm able to use my relics very frequently. That's probably the most important thing. There I evaded a critical attack. I should have actually hit him with my bolt rail, but I misaimed it a little bit. So here we have Armor of Greed, and this one is going to make it so that every time we're hit, we lose gold, but we get a significant boost to armor. And we don't really need any more relics and arcanas, and it doesn't increase the cost of potions, which is a really nice thing to add. So we should be thankful that it doesn't do that. So we should be good with everything, and Armor of Greed is definitely going to be very beneficial for us. Of course, there is still a little bit of room for us to improve our relics, so we still don't want to get hit too much willy-nilly and things like that. So we'll be playing it relatively safe here. Go ahead and shoot our signature move. Everyone up here should be dead at this point. Go ahead and break these barrels so we don't have to deal with that. Let's go ahead and explore south a little bit more here, and then we'll head back on up. So we have some arcanas here. This one's actually really nice. It lets you dodge a bunch of attacks, basically because you're... for those of you that play Dota, it's like Juggernaut's Omni Slash or Ember Spirit's a Sleight of Fist. You basically hit every target and it gives you like a bunch of invulnerability time. So here we're going to pull this dude down here. Oh, looks like the monsters are all floating based, at least for the time being. And the ones that aren't, we can just push them down. We have a dude over here, and we'll try to approach them very slowly. We don't want to approach them all at the same time. So I'm going to be playing it very carefully here. Again, just shooting out my signature move. Chilling around the corner, and we're good. So we run into the merchant. We have space for one more arcana specifically. I can actually drop the healing one if I really want to. The takeout box will give us an overshield, I believe, if we have more HP. So when we're healed for more than our maximum health, we get a little bit of extra shield, and I think that will work very well with our lifesteal. And then we can actually buy potions to kind of give us an extra shield on top of that. So we have a pretty decent synergy happening there, assuming that we don't take too much damage. So I don't want to knock all these guys off. I actually want to lifesteal a little bit off some of them. So yeah, I'm gonna try not to knock them off here, or not all of them. So yeah, I get a little bit of HP, because if I knock them off, then I can't actually lifesteal HP from them. So yeah, we need a little bit more gold, so I'm gonna see if I can find one more room with monsters in it. Otherwise, we can just go fight the boss and heal up from the boss, head back to the potion guy, and get our shield that way. So we'll head on up here and get to the boss. So yeah, it looks like we didn't end up fighting the rogue at all in our run here. That's a little bit. He's probably one of the more easy bosses in my opinion. So we actually don't end up fighting the rogue boss at all. So we got Cardis here. Let's shoot out all our attacks. And I messed that up there. The boss should be dead right now. So I took a little bit of damage there. That was kind of unfortunate. And then we'll head on over here, grab the life. And you can see I have a little bar above my life now because I have a shield, which is also nice because now when I break the gems here, I'm going to get a little bit more life on top of it all, or more shield, I should say. So you can see my shield went up even more. So I'm in a very, very, very good position here. So again, we just want to be very careful dodging all of our attacks as best as we can. And getting our licks in where we can, and then we're going to be heading off. So it looks like we took a little bit of damage there. That's unfortunate. Shooting our super, do as much damage as we can, and back off. So this move is probably the most devastating attack that she uses, and you want to be very careful reading the movement of, or the positioning of the fireballs as they're coming down from the ground. And it's relatively difficult to get used to the first time that you see it, but again, as you fight her a little bit more and more, you will become, it's not so much a pattern, you just kind of understand where the delay is and how much time you have in between each of her attacks. So this should be the final phase here, or the final cycle, and we are good. So it wasn't the cleanest fight, but it was a pretty decent one, so we'll take it. And yeah, off to the next floor. So we'll be getting a little bit more of extra shield here because of the health that we'll be acquiring from the gem in front of Master Sura. And yeah, here we go. This is the last fight with Master Sura. This fight isn't particularly any more difficult than the normal mode. I think he moves around a little bit faster, but nothing that we can't handle. Ooh, I fully just kind of stood in that and took a lot of damage, losing my entire shield. So that was a bit unfortunate, but we should be fine. What I want to do is actually run around and take care of these little orbs here very quickly that are around the map, because I don't want to deal with that later on. And again, one of the issues with using a chaos-based spell here is that Master Sura is actually not very effective against him. So you want to keep that in mind if you're going to be using these abilities, is that you're going to have to do a little bit more damage to him than you otherwise would have to. So again, focus a little bit more on dodging and wait until Master Sura actually uses his signature move, and then you can go in and do a little bit more damage then. And when you feel like he's actually about to use his signature move, activate Cardis Prime, and then you can walk in and get some damage off onto him. When he stops getting flinched, you want to start dodging again. So wait for him to use his signature move. This one's a pretty easy one to dodge. Ooh, it's a little bit of lag there. Ooh, that was unfortunate. I got to get to him very close. Ooh, I missed my opportunity to damage him there, so I'm going to actually play it safe and just kind of dash around here. Wait for him to use his super, wait for him to dash close to me. And that's it. You don't want to get too greedy with it. Again, you can see I'm not dashing like crazy. I'm kind of waiting for him to go to a particular place. And once I realize that he's kind of done in doing his combo in a particular area, then I run around for a little bit. If he gets close to me, I start dashing. When I notice that he's using his attacks, and placing them in a particular spot on the map, then it's those kind of things where I'll start kind of dashing away from his attack. So you can see I'm not dashing away. When he gets close to me and he's about to do something, I'll dash on over. And yeah, that's pretty much the fight. So relatively easy fight. Again, I told you guys it's not much more difficult than the fight in the normal mode. And yeah, that's pretty much the hard mode run. And I recommend using Null Parade if you can get it, and you definitely want to get the Chaos version of the dash. I forget what it's called. Chaotic Rift. So Chaotic Rift is really nice because it helps you blink through projectiles because you're actually teleporting. So it helps you move through the projectiles. Null Parade also makes it a lot easier as well. And Cardus Prime is just one of my favorite abilities. Again, when you get Cardus Prime and Vampire's Eyeglasses, holy man, you just start lifestealing like crazy, and it makes the runs extremely easy. So pretty clean run there. I think we started off kind of shaky, and things smoothed themselves out as we progressed through. And you can see early on I was purchasing health potions as frequently as I could, because again, you kind of want to build up a pretty decent size, an anthology of relics, if you will. And once you have a pretty decent collection, you'll get a little bit more defense here, you'll get a little bit more attack, and just makes the run although the run is getting harder because the monsters are getting stronger or faster or whatever, you're also getting more powerful. So that's always nice. So that's really it for the hard mode run. Hopefully you guys found this video useful. It took us about 37 minutes there. And yeah, just a little shy of 37:30. Pretty decent time for a full clear on most floors. I think almost all my floors were at least 95% plus. So pretty decent run. Hopefully you guys found it enjoyable. And until next time, GG as always.